How's it going, guys? Welcome to the semi-final entry in the top 5 games you should own for said console. Today we'll be talking about the PlayStation 4. Starting us off, we'll be starting with the third parties such as Far Cry 4 from Ubisoft. Far Cry 4 is an awesome adventure / first-person shooter game that takes place in the Himalayas, and it's just an amazing setting for a game that's just crazy in itself. You're playing in this massive open world with crazy animals like bears, tigers, and honey badgers. Honey badgers are pretty fucked up. You play as a man who's trying to fulfill his mother's last wish and spread her ashes where she's from, but everything goes haywire and it's a crazy adventure. If you like Far Cry 3, you're probably going to like Far Cry 4. It doesn't have the same awesome villain from Far Cry 3. It's a pretty good character. He could have been in the game a lot more, but in general, it's still a pretty solid entry in the series. Just not, I would say, amazing as Far Cry 3, but definitely a game you should purchase or at least try out. The next game on our list is Grand Theft Auto 5. Now, Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS4 is an enhancement from the 360/PS3 version. There's better graphics, there's 1080p resolution, better textures, and the game overall just looks way prettier than it did on last-gen hardware. In addition to that, there's a new first-person mode that kind of makes things just a little bit freaky. I mean, you would play Grand Theft Auto, do crazy, pretty dangerous things in Grand Theft Auto in third-person view, but playing it in first person just makes it a little bit too realistic, but still a pretty awesome game to add to your PS4 collection. I assume you guys know what Grand Theft Auto is already, but it's a new entry in the series that's an open world game that just allows you to do whatever you want pretty much, and it's an awesome storyline as well. If you're a fan of Grand Theft Auto, and even if you had this on PS3 or 360, it's still a pretty awesome upgrade to play it on PS4 or even Xbox One. Now let's jump into some exclusives like Resogun. Resogun was technically an exclusive on PS4. It recently got re-released for PS3 and Vita, where it got ported over, but they're downgraded versions of the PS4 title. Resogun is a game made by Housemarque that's like a twin-stick shooter arcade game, but it looks amazing on the PS4. The newly upgraded hardware allows for crazy particle effects, and the game overall just looks amazing. It's a really fun and addictive game, and you can even build your own ships now and share them with your friends online through the PS4's online network. If you didn't recently buy a PS4 and you've had this since launch, you can actually get the game for free on PlayStation Plus, and if not, it's still worth your purchase if you don't own it already. The next game on our list is Infamous Second Son. This is the third entry in the Infamous series that isn't solely directly Infamous 3, but just another entry in the series that's still pretty awesome. You play as a Native American character named Delson who has the power to absorb other people's powers, and the game sets up for a crazy adventure that's pretty awesome in itself. If you're looking at the PS4 and you're thinking to yourself, what exclusives should I get that I can't get on Xbox One or the Wii U, Infamous Second Son is definitely one of the titles you should pick up. The final game on our list is arguably one of the best games on the PS4, and technically the best game on the PS3, and that's The Last of Us. The Last of Us Remastered, like Grand Theft Auto 5, is an enhanced remake version of the PS3 title, but on the PS4. The Last of Us Remastered brings higher resolution gameplay up to 1080p, with better quality textures and even 60 frames per second, making the game feel slightly different than what it did on the PS3, although somewhat entirely different with the 60 frames per second compared to 30 frames per second on the PS3. If you did own this on PS3 and want to try it out for PS4, I highly recommend it. It's still the amazing narrative it was on PS3. Now on PS4, you get the Left Behind DLC for free instead of having to repurchase it online, and the 60 frames per second does make a difference when you're playing things like online. It makes aiming a lot easier than it was on the PS3 version. And for Game of the Year, I would say in my personal opinion, it was Game of the Year last year. I would say it's a pretty awesome game this year too. And those are the top 5 games for PlayStation 4 that you should own in my opinion. If you guys like my list, please give it a thumbs up. If you guys didn't like my list, give it a thumbs down. In the comment section below, tell me what games you're playing right now for PS4 or any console you have, and what games you would recommend to new PS4 owners. Thank you all for watching my video. If you guys want to add me on PSN, my network name is in the description below, along with my social network links if you guys want to follow me there as well. Thanks again for being some awesome viewers, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. See ya. How's it going, guys? Welcome to the second entry in our series. Today we'll be looking at the top 5 games you should own if you own a PlayStation Vita. So the first game on my list is called Gravity Rush. Supermodel 3D line on the 3DS, but on the home console. So like I explained on the 3DS video, Supermodel 3D World is pretty much a 2D/3D Mario game all in one. The design structure of a 2D Mario game with the gameplay of a 3D